this is Foodie Hansel, and this week I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own homemade pasta which is suitable for both vegetarians and vegans. The first thing I need to do is cleaning time, so wipe down your surfaces with a warm soapy cloth and then spray down the area with an antibacterial spray. Okay, so I've got my plain flour, 100 grams of plain flour. I've got a little bit of salt in there, a little bit of pepper in there. Could add some garlic if you wanted, I suppose, and even some herbs. Okay, so splash of water, give it a stir. What you're trying to do is you're trying to bring it to a dough. Again, splash of water. If it gets too sticky, you could always add some flour to bring it back. It is that simple. Flour on the surface. Just to stop it sticking. A little bit too much there, but that'll all come in handy later. Okay, so put your flour on the surface so it doesn't stick, and then just gently do a little bit of kneading. You don't want it too sticky, you just want it shiny so that it's manageable, so that you can roll it out easily. It just shows you don't need a fancy pasta machine. And you just rolling out your dough. You can always flour your rolling pin. I've got enough flour on my surface to pick up any of that. Just put it on top. And then you're rolling it out really, really thin so that you can almost see through it. That is the secret of good pasta. So thin it's got holes in, but it should be so thin that when you hold it up to the light that you can actually see through your pasta. Flour your dough. And this is to stop it sticking to itself. Just lay that all the way over the top. And then you're going to fold it. So fold it once, fold it twice, fold it 3 times. Like a tube almost. And you're going to need plenty of flour again for this bit. And we're going to be using a sharp knife, and you're going to be doing about 0.5 centimetres cutting. Floured hands again. You're going to go underneath, have your fingers spread out, and you're literally going to be lifting it up. Okay, and that is your floured tagliatelle ready to go into your boiling water. Okay, so what I've done is I've cleaned my mug stand first, but basically all of my tagliatelle spaghetti strands of pasta I've put on my mug stand and allowing them to dry out. This is my flour and water one. And now I'm ready to do my fresh egg pasta dough. Crack your eggs one at a time into a measuring jug. Make sure that there's no shell in there. Put your eggshell straight into the bin. Place your flour into a food processor. Make sure it's already locked in at the bottom before you start adding your flour. Add the lid and take the top of the food processor part off where you can add liquids. Start to add your liquid a drop at a time. May not need all of your egg. You can keep testing it by unlocking it and having a feel to see whether it's starting to come together and whether it's dry or not. The reason why you may not need all of your egg is due to the size of your egg. So you might have bought a large egg which would weigh a lot more, such as 75 grams, compared to a small egg which would weigh 60 grams and a medium egg which would weigh 65. So you keep adding your egg until the point that it starts to look like small peas or breadcrumbs. A rackety noise, that is the point that you stop, because the blade is overworking and it's already got it to a dough ball. So just taking it out, the dough should be sticky but not too sticky and should form, if you squeeze it between your two fingers, you should be able to form a bit of a shape. Be careful with the blade as you remove the dough. Put the dough into a ball and then wrap it up in your cling film. If you want to give it a squeeze just to smooth it out first, that might be a good idea. And then wrap it in cling film. To use your pasta machine, you need to set it up where you can get easy access to a worktop where you're able to twist underneath so to hold it steady so that it can't move. At this stage you only need this part, and you also need your turning handle. We need to adjust the dial by pulling it out and making it go to number 1, which will be the widest setting. If you need to make it thinner, you pull it out again and move it to a higher number. Open up your cling film and divide your dough into 2. So you've got part 1 and part 2 so that it doesn't dry out. And then re-wrap your other piece of dough back into the cling film. Too sticky, add a little bit of flour just to go over the top. You also need flour sprinkled over the machine, the pasta machine. Flatten it out either with your hands or a rolling pin and place your dough into your pasta machine, turning the handle fold your pasta into the middle, like so, and then place it again through the same setting twice. So this is the first time. Let's pop it up a little bit. Okay, I'm ready for the second one. Adjust your settings to number 3 and take it again through twice. Then we're going to take it to number 5. If you're feeling a bit like an octopus trying to do it all by yourself, there is nothing to stop you either doing this with a friend or even using a pizza cutter to cut the dough down so that it's more manageable. I'm going to go with number 7. I'm going to go with number 7 twice. And then I need to take it on the last notch, which is number 9. I'm going to take it through for its final roll. Again, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with the amount of dough, don't be afraid to cut it in half again. Okay, so the one thing that I need to do now is the other half, okay, which I will do, and then I'm going to show you how to do the tagliatelle. Okay, so the next part is to slide on your attachment, like so, and you're going to change your handle to either the spaghetti one, which is this one, or the tagliatelle one, which I'm going to be using. Okay, so flour your rollers again. Place your first bit of pasta across the rollers, and hopefully if your pasta is dry enough, it should cut it in neat strips. So I will show you in a moment, because left with strips like this, I would place them in some flour so that they don't stick to each other. Right, it sounds awful, but pasta machines generally have to dry out first before they're brushed and then put away in the box. So what I tend to do is put it back onto the widest setting, which is number 1, and then just use a brush, pastry brush, just to brush round to see if there's anything that's got trapped, like any bits of pasta or anything like that. Okay, you can always turn your roller as well, which will help get anything out. Okay, turning it upside down, going underneath, just allowing it really to dry out. Don't be tempted to stick it in the wash, because this will cause it to rust. Again, you can use the roller just to make sure there's nothing still trapped in there. Be careful with your fingers though, because it will be sharp. Okay, and that's ready to be put away. Okay, so once it hits the rolling boil, then you're going to add your pasta. Now your pasta should come to the boil quite quickly, and then what you're going to do is you're going to let it bubble. It must be bubbling, and you're going to let it bubble for approximately about 4 to 5 minutes, because it's fresh pasta. Okay, so I'm going to set my timer now for 5 minutes. If the water starts to look like it's boiling over, don't be afraid to either turn it down or even move it off a hob to take the heat out of it. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes, so I haven't turned it off. What I've done is used a slotted spoon just to put my pasta into my bowl. Okay, so I'm just going to add the sauce over the top of the pasta, letting it go in like so. I'm going to add a sprinkling of vegan cheese and just some herbs for decoration, and maybe some black pepper just to finish off.